So Avatar is back, finally. Not in theaters, though. That'd be too much fun, right? Screw you if you like fun. But no, in all seriousness, jokes aside, we finally have a new Last Airbender movie, an Avatar The Last Airbender film. It's kind of unprecedented. I never thought we would get this. I'm gonna break the bush here, or at least break the ice. I do think Avatar The Last Airbender is the greatest, I think, television story ever told. It's the best TV show. It's my favorite show of all time. It's my perfect 3-act structure. I think Avatar The Last Airbender has a perfect middle, beginning, middle, end, everything in between, the character development, the story, the action, the world building, the grandiosity of what it's discussing in terms of rebellion and dictatorship. Everything about Avatar The Last Airbender that it wants to say is said within that show. No crumbs left behind. So it's kind of hard to do anything that equals the amount of that, genuinely. Even Korra, I found a struggle. I never finished Korra. I like what I saw of Korra, at least hits and misses here and there, but nothing has ever equated to Avatar The Last Airbender, the show itself. This movie included, unfortunately. But that's not to say this movie is bad. It definitely has some great moments in it. There are a lot of good, solid animation sequences. This movie looks great. Positives right off the gate. This movie looks incredible. The animation is so clean, so crisp. It's so good seeing, and also the team dynamic. Like, it's great seeing the Team Avatar back in action, fighting in action. That's really where you get the feeling of reunion with these characters. Sokka, Aang, Katara, Zuko, Toph. Everyone here feels like their characters. They feel within consistency of the writing of what they came from before, and I do appreciate that. And the action scenes are well honed, man. Like, the animation's great. It looks beautiful. Set pieces feel big. They feel huge and humongous. They give you that cinematic quality that the original show gave. But in a modern context, a modern budget, it looks fantastic. Visually, this movie's on another level. There are some great fight sequences that all moves at a pace. You really feel the impact of the hits. So a lot of great moments in terms of just visual storytelling that really let us know where we are in the story. It does a good job at placing us with the characters post-Avatar The Last Airbender, but before Korra, you do get a nice, concise idea of where everyone has been and what they're doing now. I do appreciate that. I really enjoyed the opening parts of this. My favorite parts of this movie was actually just seeing the crew reunite. I know that sounds fan servicey, but it's the fucking reason we're here, though. It's the reason we want to watch this. We want to see Team Avatar reunite. It's funny because I know we are in an age where it's like all nostalgia is viewed as bad, but that's not always the case. I do think this movie sometimes has good nostalgia, especially in that first act. My favorite moment in particular is when Zuko receives a letter from Aang, and in the writing of the letter as it's being read to Zuko, you feel every bit of friendship and history Zuko and Aang have had, and it's just a joke, but the joke does so much at informing you on where these characters are now. It was beautiful to see. It's like, oh, they're friends, and they write letters ranting about their work days to each other. That's really endearing and sweet. Moments like that, I kind of wish we had more of. I do think the ensemble here, I'll get into my flaws in a bit, or where we get shortchanged. But at the beginning, the opening act, what we're setting up, I do enjoy the setup a lot. I think the plot and the premise on paper is cool to explore Aang post-Avatar, how he is as an Avatar, what that means for him in a world where he's brought peace, but how do we start spreading the word of the Airbenders again? How do we bring back a colony of people that was taken away? But how do we do it morally and righteously? I like this movie's tackling that conversation. I kind of wish the movie tackled some new elements of it, though, because some of it is repetition from the show we've seen before. Because I was getting into it, man. The main plot and the story and the focus of this, it just felt kind of repetitive. And that's my biggest thing with this movie, is that Avatar Aang doesn't really thread the needle or move it in any significant way, and I kind of wish it did. And it's my problem with reuniting with these characters sometimes. Like, you gotta play it safe because it does take place in between Avatar and Korra. You have lore that happens after and lore happens before. You can't really mess with too much in the middle, but that ultimately leads to a movie that feels really abundantly safe at times. There's a lot of moments in this movie where I'm just kind of looking at it like, I feel like we've seen this arc, or Aang go on a version of this arc before, and I'm starting to wonder if we needed to follow Aang's POV the entire time here. This is kind of a missed opportunity to explore the other Avatar characters in a story post the Avatar world. How much more interesting would it have been to see Zuko dealing with being a Fire Lord, or being the person in charge of the Fire Nation now, post-war? How does he handle that new identity? How does Zuko address his Fire Nation? I would have loved to explore that. We get like a couple of minutes of it. That's about it. I don't know what I'm saying. It sounds like I'm complaining and saying I just want things that I didn't get to see in it, but at the end of the day, when you wait this long for characters to reunite, you kind of want to spend more time on the reunion, and I feel like the movie could have honestly benefited from a longer runtime to do so. This movie is way too short for its own good, and I don't say that a lot for animation pieces, but this one sometimes I felt it got way too focused on the action, way too focused on a plot thread that just was repetitive from the previous Avatar show regarding the airbending stuff. I don't want to get too much into it in case you haven't seen the film yet, spoiler free. But the ideas they tackle here are cool on paper. I just feel like the movie's not long enough to really marinate on those ideas, nor is it long enough to give our side characters enough time to also marinate on those ideas to make it feel like an ensemble piece. At the end of the day, I feel like this movie has a bit of an identity crisis. It fights to be an Aang story specifically, but it also wants to be a reunion of the Avatar crew. But with an hour and 35 something minute runtime around that range, you don't get a lot of time to do both. And I could have been benefited from seeing that. Maybe it's the fact that I'm used to a TV show format with this. But as it stands, by the end of the movie, I was sitting here like, this is a great spectacle. It looks beautiful. I don't really feel the team back though. Like, I feel it visually, I feel it in the action. Character-wise, story-wise though, there's not enough interaction in between them individually to really make it feel like a whole piece to me. And that doesn't even come from the voice acting either. I think the voice acting is actually fantastic in this. Everyone sounds within character, and they do sound like they've just gotten older. It's hard to really complain about voices sounding different when the characters are just age. That's how it's gonna happen with their voices. They're gonna sound different. It's not Avatar anymore, they're not 12. I did appreciate the certain moments that we do get, like between Aang and Katara, seeing them be tender with each other. It's a well-earned love that spent 3 seasons being built to, so it was nice seeing intimate moments between them. And I wish we could have gotten, where the hell was May actually? That's what I'm talking about. It's like, in a world where we have been waiting for more Avatar, you might as well put all your eggs in the basket and just giving us the characters again, but not just that, give us something refreshing with these characters. Give us something we haven't seen before, something following maybe another character. I think Aang himself has just had his story told at this point. Nothing about Aang at this point is pushing the needle forward. To give it credit, this movie doesn't really wreck anything from the previous Avatar show. Like, it doesn't ruin lore, it doesn't take away canon. It does bring in some concepts and ideas that I do roll my eyes at as an Avatar fan, but I can't really get into it here because it is spoiler territory. There's an element of bending and non-bending that this story gets into. If you know, you know. There are moments to me that I just feel like it conflicts with what the messaging of Avatar is supposed to be in its entire purpose. Maybe I'll make a video about that one day, just like that specific topic, but I can't really get into it here because it'll spoil the movie. Point is, it didn't always work for me. I know it sounds vague as shit. I'm just trying to be respectful. Not to mention the antagonist in this movie. He's just so predictable. Like, every ounce of dialogue I felt with him, I was like, I know where this is going with this character. I like it in concept. This movie's not giving us enough time with him, particularly, to make me care, though. I think on paper, his motivation makes sense. His personality is dullest villain of dullest villain, that ever dullest villain. But at the end of the day, I do appreciate Avatar pushing for empathy, pushing for people to have empathy. That is always something that Avatar, I think messaging-wise, it's in there. And it is present in this movie, I'll give it credit for that. It's a beautiful visual spectacle in the world of Avatar that I loved looking at and appealing to visually. Did I like the story? It was okay. Did I like the character interactions? Hit and miss. Could have used more. Do I think this is the return to Avatar that we've been salivating for? No, and I'm honestly okay with that. I'm also content with the fact that we will never get that. Avatar The Last Airbender was lightning in a bottle. It can't be replicated, and that's okay. I don't think we need to try to replicate it or redo it. There's no point. Stop doing the live action. Give us more animated movies. I'll take another animated movie with Team Avatar, less focused on Aang. This is actually making me want a sequel to that than anything else in terms of remaking what we've already done. That's good. The character interactions were solid. There are some solid jokes at the first half of this movie, a great action spectacle at the end. Visually, it looks beautiful. There's some hit and miss with Avatar Aang The Last Airbender, and I kind of just wish it could have sang more. It didn't fully hit for me. I do hope people enjoy it though. I'm glad it's getting praise online. I wish Paramount Pictures themselves, I wish Paramount gave a fuck about Avatar as much as the fans did. Watching this movie, man, I do think my experience with it would have been more positive if I saw it in a theater. I'm going to be so real. It's a little messed up they didn't do that. This movie lends itself to the theatrical experience. It's visually meant to be there. Sound-wise, it's meant to be there. But at the end of the day, companies don't care about that. They'd rather kill their own IP and create problems to solve to look like they're doing things that make them look good. It's kind of a thing I've noticed with movie studio companies. Like, I feel like they just kind of create their own problems to look like the hero to come in and save them when they started it to begin with. Just how it feels. Again, not a business guy. I'm sure somebody will call me an idiot in the comments for not knowing shit, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, guys, it was hit and miss for this movie. I wanted to love it. Hit and miss. What did you think of Avatar Aang The Last Airbender? Did it appeal to you as an Avatar fan? Did it deliver? I hope it did. Guys, what is your favorite scene in this movie? Thank you so much for watching Scatterbrain Reviews. Leave a like, leave a comment, come talk about movies with us, come talk about stories with us. I will see you next time.